All right, hello. So we're back today to do a quick little video. I just wanted to go ahead and make a small little series on deck theory, how I construct my deck, and um, the adjustments that I make depending on the meta, and also events as well. And just kind of the core concept of how I'm playing my deck and why I like it so much compared to other decks. So, because there's a lot of different ways that you can build Dragunity, and I do feel the way that I build it is very good, very flexible, very consistent compared to a lot of the other decks that I see. It is good going both first and second. If you go first, you make a really hard to crack board. That ends on several interactions along with a floodgate that a lot of decks just don't have the means to out because they don't see it coming. And going second, if you manage to do your combo, you are one-shotting the opponent. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's why I do like the deck, and there's a lot of different ways and reasons behind it. But the main core, pretty much all the Dragunity cards that you see here, along with Black Wings, Zephyros, Red Eyes, Darkness, Metal Dragon, those are all like you can't get rid of that. Samsara and Miss Valley Baby Rock, you can because they're not necessarily part of the engine, and you can actually play one Phalanx and one Koos and still make the same board. It's just a little trickier to do so, but I just prefer it this way. The second Koos would never come up unless you're in a banishing meta, in which case you might have a second one if your one just kind of keeps getting banished out of nowhere. But the main idea is that you want to try to have your deck as lean as possible. The only reason this is 41 is just because I wanted to add the second Tempest, and I didn't really want to get rid of anything else in the deck. If I was to get rid of anything, it'd be the trap card, but it comes up. It's another added interaction if you do manage to open like Glow and Remus. Now, the main reason for this, for a lot of Dragunity players I see, they run Dragunity Ducks. And in my opinion, Dragunity Ducks is a win harder card where you already need to open the Remus and then have like your Phalanx engrave to then normal summon the Ducks and activate this effect to get the Phalanx from the grave and then do your combo from there. It requires like a lot more setup than just normal summon Senators, discard the Phalanx, and then go full combo. Because full combo for this deck is either opening Remus, opening Ravine, opening Goat Sark, opening Sinitus plus any Dragunity card. That does include the Whirlwinds that we have here. And in a terrible situation, it does also include the Dragunity Glows as well. So there's a lot of starters. You can argue it's around there's 3, 6, 7, 10, and then these also technically start. So you're almost at 12 card. You're almost at a 12 card starter type thing, where a lot of your hands, in some way, shape, or form, are this is a starter. This is a starter through Ash. So play your Remus. If they Ash it, cool. Nobody cares. Normal summon sentences. Discard Phalanx, your full combo. If they negate the sentences, you just special the Remus from the graveyard, go full combo. You have triple tag to draw two. Oh, look at that, you drew in the glow. Now when you go into your Romulus, if they try to negate the Romulus, it's cool, you already got glow in hand. They don't negate it, you get to your oblique. Having Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon means that you special summon the Tempest from your deck instead of special summoning the Red Eyes. You banish the Tempest with the Red Eyes effect to then add your Dragunity Armorgram from your deck to your hand instead. So full combo. Um, this is not full combo. You just hope that they play Maxi in the main phase and you draw two and you cry about it. This is the worst full combo that you could ever imagine, but it is full combo. Tempest, discard Tempest to search the Remus, and then you full combo from there and just hope for the best, and you just discard the sarcophagus and go. Full combo. Um, Not full combo, but full combo plus more, So it's like a majority of these hands, you want to make me look like a liar. Majority of these hands, they're full combos, and if not, I mean, no deck has literally perfect hands every single time, but you want to have as many starters as possible. Also, shout outs to Ghost Arc plus both Tempest in hand. I literally put the second Tempest for that would never happen, and it it still happened. But luckily, the second Tempest still counts as another Tempest target, so this is fun. But the other ways to play your Dragunity combos is, as also shown with like the Majestic Link setup that I have. Now, honestly, you can make it a lot better and just drop the Majestic Dragon combo part out of here. And you can have like some really crazy interaction boards. I'll probably touch on that a little bit later. But the really cool thing about this is having the extra Dragunity Glow in here in the Dragunity package means that if you open any of your rocket starters, that is also additional starters into the full combo, which would still get you your full board, which would be Majestic, Borlin, Borload, or Hot Red, a lot of those. And then going second, same premise. You can still break a board going second with this. I know it doesn't have the access code talker in there. You don't necessarily really need it. If you do want to put it, I mean, you can kind of maneuver some things around there to make it happen. But that's kind of the beauty of it. There's a lot of different tech cards that you can have if you wanted to have like the Kashtira cards, or you're running the Dragon Rulers. There's level 7 XYZ special summons level 4 winged beast from the deck. The level 4 winged beast is Dragunity Sinitus, which is also full combo, which is more reason why Dragunity Ducks sucks. But the main idea, and as you can see, the pattern there is still always having the two Phalanxes, the one Kus, and then as many starters as possible, and everything like that. Whereas in the Dragon Link one, it's more like if you have it, cool, pop off King. If you don't, just don't. And if they interrupt you in it, you just don't go into it. So it's kind of the beauty of it, and the way that it flexes with the meta is with the non-engine. So like during the outlets period where there was a whole bunch of trap cards and stuff, instead of having like three triple attacks, which would be useless there, you would have Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storms, things of that nature. You would also drop some of the Whirlwinds because they're less likely to have monsters on the field, things like that. When you're going against the big negate boards where they have Barone, Borload, and and all of those things, you wanted three Whirlwind and three Forbidden Droplets because that alone was a full board breaker by itself, just because you negate all their interactions, and Dragunity Whirlwind is a starter in itself. So even if they have four monster negates, you play Whirlwind, they chain in the gate, and then you then chain Forbidden Droplet. You send one of the imperms because you also have multiple imperms in these type of metas because you need hand traps. So you play Forbidden Droplets, send Whirlwind, send Trap, send Monster, and then you just full combo from there because they're not going to be able to do anything else to stop you. So, um, or during the Pearly Kashtira meta, I was actually playing this deck just because Kashtira would banish so many cards, and with Triple Tactics Thrust into triple tactics talent to take the one card. What was the actual version that I had? Um, I think I got rid of it already. No, maybe it's here. Yeah, I kind of somewhat already altered it, but this one was like for going second. And so when I go second, I try not to only rely on the Mist Valley Baby Rock, and I also try to have Gusto Griffin because that's also pretty helpful and kind of extending. But when you're going second in those type of metas, it's actually better to have more than 40 and to have the 60. And then as you see, you have like my Kurikara and all that stuff. But because Whirlwind and Triple Tactics Thrust, Triple Tactics Talon, and Small Roll is actually really crazy in this deck as well because Small Roll gives you a lot of different ways to get into Remus as well. I also have the second Simsar Dragon in here just because it's a Remus line. That the only thing it shares in common with Remus is that it's a dragon. So having the second one is also pretty beneficial there. Maxi is also another small roll target as well. Um, so you might as well add the card in there because it doubles, and then you have evenly match and all other type of stuff. For the Pearly matchup, you could still curry card them, things like that. If they're playing Kashtira and they have their Rise Heart, you just thrust triple attack, take their Kashtira monster, and then you go to Zeus, and then you wipe out the whole field, and then you just Dragunity combo from there. Usually they scoop by then. So The deck is flexible in that regard, and it's just because Dragunity Whirlwind is such a busted card that you're able to do that, and a lot of Dragunity players don't utilize it. I think I've only came across like one other player who would utilize Dragunity Whirlwind, and the way that he did it, maybe he decided to follow me. We did comment back to each other. um, he said he might actually play the Shooting Majestic tech, so shouts out to you if you do. He was doing the Calamity Lock during a DK tournament. So shouts out to that guy. He's freaking insane. But he was using Dragunity Whirlwind actually as just a board breaker in itself. So typically you would have in the situation, at least from what I grasped from the few duels that I saw, it would be like Whirlwind plus Remus. And during the draw phase, he would just activate Whirlwind and then special Gusamir and Sinitus or Dragonity Ducks or Legatus, it doesn't matter. Make a level 7 Black Rose Dragon, and because Black Rose Dragon has to be Chain Link 1 when it's summoned, so you always have to activate that. You always have to activate Whirlwind first, but you can immediately Synchro Summon into Black Rose Dragon and then nuke the entire board, and then you just do your regular combo from there. So you would still need your Remus or your sentences from there. But it is a cool thing. The only reason why I don't have that is just because I often don't feel it's that necessary to have. Um, but I have considered it, and his combo line, because he had a different inboard, the method that he used, so he didn't play Sinitus. Instead, his method was like you would Remus, and instead of taking your Gay Dirk and your Miss Valley Baby Rock into a Romulus like you see me typically do, he actually just will instead go into Crystal Wing, and then he would normal summon his the level 3, bring back the level 4 Legatus typically in that situation, and then go into Romulus and then do the rest of the combo from there. It was a DK tournament, so he was doing that to play around Nibiru because a lot of players in that tournament will be playing it. So it was a very good logical choice. For a laddering, it probably wouldn't be as necessary because like I can count on one hand in the last 3 months how many times I got Nibiru. And then it's never mattered. I never cared about getting the beer root. I just played through it anyway. But during that kind of tournament where you're playing against people with actual good decks and who know what they're doing, yeah, it makes sense to do that. Um, and everything like that. So there, and that's the cool thing about Dragunity is you have that kind of flexibility. This card is that cracked where you have that option. In the past, I actually ran this not for that purpose. I did have it, and I had it as an option. But another thing that I would do, I would play it and go into this guy and then go into Scarlet Red Dragon and nuke the field that way. And I get to keep the monster on the field compared to Black Rose Dragon having to get rid of itself. And more importantly, um, the Phalanx in the graveyard is already helping my combo since I have it in the graveyard compared to doing the Black Rose, where my typical combo, I'm never using this for synchroing because I don't have level 7 synchros that I feel are worth adding into the deck. If there are, this is an easy tech in. It's so easy to add in. Um, so it's kind of the idea behind it, and so there's a lot of flexibility. My main thing is don't play Dragonite Ducks. I don't like it. I just I don't like it. It feels just too old. Um, Whereas relying on a normal summon to get the one Dragonite card out the graveyard, and it just requires so much setup when Sinitus, in most practical senses, does everything that this wants to do, but better. Because if you're in a situation where you're like, well, what if you have Dragonite Ducks and Ravine? Isn't that a better combo where you can send the Phalanx to the graveyard? You could do that. But if you had Sinitus and Ravine, you could play the Ravine, send the card to the graveyard, add the Phalanx to your hand, normal summon the sentences, discard the Phalanx, attach the Koos, and now instead of having just the Phalanx in the graveyard and having the normal summon your Dragonity Ducks to bring to do your combo, now you have both your Phalanx and your Koos in the graveyard, and you can use your Blackwing Zephyros and bring back the Koos from the graveyard and then do your Barsha combos from there. It's just there's just more flexibility there. Because the same setup where this will work, you can make Sinitus work, but just better. And so, yeah, that is that. I will try to also do some more ideas as well with Dragon Maid. I will also touch on one with the Dragon Rulers. I am still looking into the Dragon Rulers. I also have one. I mean, I could do one for like the Heradic Dragons. I know nobody's asked for Heradic Dragons in forever, but I am still playing Heradic Dragons. I don't have it here. I mean, I have this. This is trash. This is from like super long ago, and this is the non-updated version that I haven't touched on in forever. So this is still good, by the way. Like you could still play this and it will work. I would just drop 3 droplets. This is still this is still phenomenal, by the way. You can even add thrust to have like more targets for that. So I'll actually update that. This is actually still really good setup, but I have some other ideas with Heretics, combining them with the Bystials. So that's also something that I'm working with. But that's kind of the theory on what I have going on there. And I'm gonna try to do a couple more of these. Probably end up having to redo this in the future. But let me know what you guys think about this. And I'll do this for a while until I can come up with some other decks, or maybe during these things I come up with something as well. But hopefully that helps. If anybody was ever curious on how to build or why I don't have certain cards or anything like that, and the kind of combo plays or the flexibility, there's a lot of different ways that you can play the deck, a lot of different non-engine that you can play, and this card is actually just kind of busted against most decks because like normal summon pass on Kyoki Dragon is unbeatable for some decks like Drytron. They literally can't beat this. They literally can't beat it, and it is the funniest thing ever. Um, but all right, thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.